So are we gonna talk now?
Yep, ready.
Okay, all right. So we have just rinsed our mannequin thoroughly, and this is the way you blot the rods. Because remember, the hair is in a fragile state right now. So you don't wanna jostle these rods all around, but we want to try to get a lot of this moisture out so that it can soak up the neutralizer without being diluted by all this water. So I'm just pressing and blotting and getting as much of the moisture out as possible. Now the neutralizer is once again going to be a very drippy process. You want to make sure to keep your your client dry. So I'm putting this cotton back on. This one doesn't have to be capped. So we're done with our processing cap. All right, this is the neutralizer. And once again, we're gonna snip the little tip off of it and start to apply. I'm starting in the front, on the top. We'll push your head back a little bit so that it doesn't drip right down her face. So I am going back and forth, going over each rod, side to side, end to end, making sure that each rod is getting saturated all the way. Here come the drips.
Can you explain what the difference is between the waving lotion and the neutralizer?
Absolutely. The waving lotion is the thioglycolate. Did I say that right? Thioglycolate chemical. And that is what breaks down those bonds in the hair. So remember that in the process of doing a perm, we're taking all of those sulfate bonds.
Disulfide.
Mr. Lucas is the science guy. They are disulfide bonds.
But they are sulfur bonds, yeah.
Okay. They are getting broken down. Remember, we have different bonds in the hair structure. We've got the hydrogen bonds, which are broken down every single time you wash your hair or anytime you put heat tools on your hair. And then we've got the disulfate bonds, which are broken down by chemicals like the thioglycolate. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Okay. And so that's what the waving lotion does. Once we have it in that broken down state, it's gonna it's already wrapped on the perm rods, and so then when we put this neutralizer on, this begins the process of putting those bonds back together in the curl formation. So that's why it is in a very fragile state right now, so you have to be careful with it, and we have to let this sit on for 5 minutes. That's why I haven't taken the rods down. We're not going to take the rods down until this has sat on the hair for a good 5 minutes. So you can see how messy and drippy this is. So what I'm going to do is change out her cotton. Because we want to keep our client dry and comfortable. The neutralizer really doesn't stink. Not like the waving lotion does. And it's also not as harmful to the skin. So when the neutralizer drips, it's uncomfortable, but the neutralizer isn't going to burn her skin. But still, we just want to make sure our client stays comfortable and stays dry. So anytime her cotton gets full of neutralizer, or if her towel here needs to get changed, that's what you can do. You can grab dry towels and dry cotton. This neutralizing process can be done at the shampoo bowl. That also helps kind of contain all the drippiness because she can recline her head back into the shampoo bowl and it'll stay dry. All right, so I'm gonna set my timer